Okay, I'm back with part 2 of my Xbox 360 video game collection. Start off with Dead Rising. Dead Rising is one of the first games I got for the 360, and it's just crazy about how many enemies are on screen in this game and how many different ways you can kill zombies. It's just fun going around, getting whatever you can, and just killing zombies. It's a good old time. Dead Rising 2, pretty much more of the same. I prefer the first one to this, but this is still another game along the lines. If you enjoyed the first one, you're going to enjoy this one. Next up is Dead Space. Dead Space is one of my favorite franchises on the 360. It's also on the PS3 as well, but it started on the 360, and this is a really good survival horror game if any of you haven't played. If you're big fans of Resident Evil, I suggest you play this game. This game can scare you if you're playing this game just by yourself, just sitting there in a dark room. Dead Space 2 I've never completed, but pretty much more of the same. Dead Space 3 I have mixed opinions on about. I did complete this game, but it just felt like they took the horror and the survival out of it. They gave you a crap load of ammo, and it just pretty much turned into a straight action game. But it's still a fun game overall. Next up is the DJ Hero franchise. DJ Hero, I did have a lot of fun with playing it when it first came out, but I haven't really picked it up ever since that. But it's a fun music rhythm game. If you like Guitar Hero and all those and Rock Band and all those rhythm games, then I suggest you give this a go. DJ Hero 2, pretty much more of the same. If you like the first one, you're going to like this one. Next up is Dragon Age. Dragon Age is a game that I really can't delve too deep into because I only played literally like 40 minutes to an hour of this game, and I just couldn't get into it at the time. I bought Dragon Age 2 before I bought this one, but I just couldn't get into this one. Dragon Age 2 improved upon everything in Dragon Age Origins, I believe. And this is overall better game, better action RPG. Next up is Enslaved. Now this is a game, another gem in the Xbox 360 game collection. I don't hear a lot of people talk about this game, but this is one crazy game. Like, it's got action, adventure, and just the ending of this game will have you shaking your head in awe. Next up is Eternal Sonata. If you like JRPGs, this is a really good game about Frederick Chopin and what goes on in his dream world. This game I did complete, and I really did enjoy it. Next up is Fable 2. Fable 2 is probably my favorite Fable game in the franchise. It just did everything right and is the best game in the series. Fable 3 was a disappointment in my mind. I didn't like this game at all, couldn't really get into it, and haven't really went back to try to play it again. Fallout 3 is a massive RPG that can take up a crap load of time. I think it took my brother about like 70 hours to beat. I haven't had that time to put into this game, but what I did put into it, it was a very fun game. Next up is Far Cry 3. I did play Far Cry 2. It's the only other Far Cry game I played, and this one is a lot better than that one. And this character right here is one of the craziest characters I've seen in a video game. Just a fun game. You guys should go play this if you haven't. Next up is Fear. Fear is another game that I just couldn't buy into. I'd like the whole mechanic where you can slow down time and shoot everyone, but other than that, I just couldn't have fun with it. Next up is Fight Night Round 3. Another one of the early games in the Xbox 360 lifespan. This is just a really good boxing game. I wish they still made more of them. Fight Night Champion is my favorite in the Fight Night series. I just like the whole Rocky aspect and the story mode in this game. And probably this is the best boxing game I've ever played. Next up is Gears of War. I only have the first one. My brother owns the other ones up there, but I'm not the hugest fan of the Gears of War series, but I do appreciate them. Judgment being my favorite. Next up is Grand Theft Auto 4, and this is just a massive game. Back when this came out, I 100% completed this game, and I pretty much wake up, played this game, and went to sleep and just repeated until I just played the crap out of this game, and it's just one of the best games in the Xbox 360 library, and you all should go out and play it. Next up is Green Day Rock Band. I am a huge fan of the Rock Band and Guitar Hero series, so And I'm a huge fan of Green Day, so this is a great game if you like Green Day. Guitar Hero 2, probably the best Guitar Hero game in the franchise. It just started the whole Guitar Hero trend and is a really fun music rhythm game if you give it a chance. Guitar Hero 3 features my favorite guitarist of all time, Slash, and just continues upon the formula of Guitar Hero 2, and it's still a good game. Guitar Hero Aerosmith. If you like Aerosmith, you're going to like this game. That's all I have to say about that. Guitar Hero World Tour. This was probably my least favorite Guitar Hero game. They added a lot of like foreign tracks and foreign speaking tracks, and it's probably the weakest one that I can think of. Guitar Hero 5 just continues upon the formula. It's another great Guitar Hero game, I believe. Next up is Guitar Hero Warriors of Rock, the last game in the Guitar Hero franchise. It was a good game, but not really a good game to go out on. It had a couple good tracks, and that's about it. And I did own Guitar Hero Metallica, but I can't seem to find it. I have no idea where it went. But that was one of my favorite Guitar Hero games. Probably right after Guitar Hero 2, Guitar Hero Metallica is right there. Next up is Halo, the Anniversary Edition. Just a HD upgrade of Halo on regular Xbox. This is just a great game, as you all know. Then next up is Halo 3. Halo 3 is another game that I got addicted to the multiplayer and everything when it came out. It was another game I did everything in when it first came out, and just a really good game to continue in the franchise. Halo 3 ODST was my least favorite Halo game. I could not get into this game, and I still haven't completed it to this day. I just couldn't get into it, and I really don't know what they were thinking. Halo 4 is an amazing game, and it's not made by Bungie, which is surprising. This is probably one of my favorite Halo games in the series. It's either ranked number 2 or 3, but just a really good game if you ever went out and played it. Next up is Halo Reach. This is my favorite Halo game. I've completed this game multiple times, got really into the multiplayer, and this is a good Halo game to start out if you haven't played the franchise. Next up is Hitman Absolution. I haven't played many other Hitman games. The only other one I played was Blood Money, and this one is overall a way better game, and this just has one hell of a story, and it's a great game if you guys love the Hitman series. Next up is Kane and Lynch, which is pretty much along the same lines as the Hitman series, but this game, I love this game when it first came out. It was one of the only games I beat on the hardest difficulty. Me and my brother played through this game, and it's just a really fun game. Then finally, we have Kane and Lynch 2, Dog Days. This is a good game. It's just, I don't think it was as good as the first one. That's just my opinion. Hope you enjoyed watching. Thanks.